Bitcoin fails to hold $116,000 as OGs rotate into Ether. Crypto Daybook Americas. Your day ahead look for September 15, 2025. By Omkar Godbole. All times ET unless indicated otherwise. The crypto market has stalled since Saturday, with Bitcoin BTC $115, 112.80 once again failing to keep gains above $116,000 alongside continued selling by wallets of early adopters, or OGs. According to blockchain analyst Lookonchain, on Sunday an 8-year BTC holder moved 1,176 BTC worth over $136 million to Hyperliquid and started dumping. This holder is known to have exchanged 35,991 BTC for 886,731 ETH in recent months. Other long-term holders have also been liquidating coins in recent months, as the market continues to adjust to a six-figure price as the new normal for BTC. But the latest selling is not just limited to long-term holders. On-chain data tracked by Glassnode showed that wallets of all sizes are back to distributing coins. In Ether's case, whale wallets continue to scale exposure, suggesting Ether outperformance relative to Bitcoin. The Ether-Bitcoin ratio on Binance, however, fell for a third consecutive day, unable to capitalize on the descending trendline breakout confirmed on Friday. Memecoins, the recent outperformers, have also come under pressure, with top tokens Doge and SHIB losing 10% and 6%, respectively, over the past 24 hours. Solana's native token SOL traded over 2% lower at $234 despite key industry participants taking steps to accelerate the adoption of Solana native decentralized finance, DeFi. Kyle Samani, chairman of Nasdaq-listed Solana treasury company Forward Industries, said on X that the company plans to deploy funds into the Solana-based DeFi protocols. Last week, Forward raised $1.65 billion in a private placement led by Multicoin Capital, Galaxy Digital and Jump Crypto. Samani was responding to an idea raised by a crypto trader, Ansem, who called for corporate treasury funds to invest in Solana-based DeFi to boost the network's DeFi appeal relative to industry giant Ethereum. In traditional markets, investor positioning in the S&P 500 looked totally biased bullish. Sentiment is at extremes. Careful out there. Pseudonymous observer The Short Bear said on X. Stay alert. By Oliver Knight. By Omkar Godbole. Crypto treasury companies. Spot BTC ETFs. Spot ETH ETFs. Source, Farside Investors. Krypton Unscheduled. Macron Unscheduled. Earnings estimates based on FactSet data. None scheduled. None scheduled. None scheduled. None scheduled. Governance votes and calls. Curve DAO is voting to update donation enabled to crypto contracts. Refining donation vesting so unlocked portions persist after burns. Voting ends September 16. Unlock September 15. Starknet, STRK. To unlock 5.98% of its circulating supply worth $17.09 million. September 15. Say SEI $0.3192 to unlock 1.18% of its circulating supply worth $18.06 million. Token launches September 15. OpenLedger, OpenLedger. To be listed on Crypto.com. Curve DAO is voting to update donation enabled to crypto contracts. Refining donation vesting so unlocked portions persist after burns. Voting ends September 16th. September 15th. Starknet, STRK. To unlock 5.98% of its circulating supply worth $17.09 million. September 15. Say SEI $0.3192 to unlock 1.18% of its circulating supply worth $18.06 million. September 15th. OpenLedger, OpenLedger. To be listed on Crypto.com. Day 4 of 4. ETH Tokyo 2025 Day 1 of 7. Budapest Blockchain Week 2025 September 15th. TGE Summit 2025, New York. Moneros Blockchain suffered its deepest ever reorg on Monday, rolling back 18 blocks. A blockchain reorganization, or reorg, happens when nodes abandon part of the existing chain to follow a longer one with more proof of work. The shift occurs during a temporary fork, when two versions of the chain compete. Monero's XMR token remained unperturbed during the process, rallying by 5% despite the attack by Cubic, a Layer 1 AI-focused blockchain and mining pool that attempted to take over the Monero blockchain by amassing 51% of the mining power last month. The event rewrote roughly 36 minutes of transaction history and invalidated about 118 confirmed transactions, prompting concerns about the security of the network. Crypto. Podcaster Xenu claimed that Cubic's reorg was an attempt to stop the bleeding of XMR's price after it tumbled from $344 to $235 during the initial 51% attack in August. XMR currently trades at $304, having brushed aside negative sentiment with daily trading volume rising by 78% to $136 million. The top 25 coins have experienced a decline in futures open interest, OI, over the past 24 hours, with memecoins, such as Doge, Pepe and Fartcoin, registering double-digit capital outflows. This contrasts with the pre-Fed bounce being seen in most tokens. BTC's global futures OI tally has pulled back to 720k BTC from the near-record high of 744k BTC last week. Total market-wide OI has pulled back to $90 billion from $95 billion over the weekend. ETH's tally grew to over 14 million Ether from roughly 13.2 million Ether early this month, indicating renewed capital inflows. However, this does not necessarily indicate bullish positioning, as the OI normalized cumulative volume delta, CVD, for ETH has been negative for the past 24 hours. That's a sign of net selling pressure. Most major tokens have seen a negative CVD for the past 24 hours. Activity in the CME-listed futures looks to be picking up the pace, with OI bouncing to 141.69k BTC from the multi-month low of 133.25k BTC early this week. The annualized rate on a 3-month basis remains below 10%, extending the consolidation. ETH's CME OI remains below 2 million Ether on Deribit. Put bias in BTC and ETH has eased significantly across all tenors as markets anticipate Fed rate cuts in the coming months. The implied volatility term structure remains in contango, with December expiry expected to be more volatile. BTC is down 1.1% from 4 p.m. Eastern Time Friday at $114,933.52, 24 hours. Minus 1%, ETH is down 3.1% at $4,528.04, 24 hours. Minus 3.22%. CoinDesk 20 is down 2.73% at $4,245.39, 24 hours. Minus 3.35%. Ether CSR composite staking rate is down 2 BPS at 2.82%. BTC funding rate is at 0.0081%, 8.829% annualized, on Binance. DXY is unchanged at 97.48. Gold futures are down 0.29% at $3. 675.80. Silver futures are down 0.56% at $42.59. Nikkei 225 closed up 0.89% at 44. 768.12. Hang Seng closed up 0.22% at 26. 446.56. FTSE is down 0.1% at 9,273.57. Eurostoxx 50 is up 0.6% at 5. 423.13. DJIA closed on Friday down 0.59% at 45. 834.22. S&P 500 closed unchanged at 6. 584.29. Nasdaq Composite closed up 0.44% at 22. 141.10. S&P/TSX Composite closed down 0.42% at 29. 283.82. S&P 40 Latin America closed unchanged at 2. 857.80 U.S. 10-year Treasury rate is unchanged at 4.059%. E-mini S&P 500 futures are unchanged at 6. 594.50. E-mini Nasdaq 100 futures are unchanged at 24. 098.00. E-mini Dow Jones Industrial Average Index are up 0.22% at 45,957.00. BTC dominance, 58.11%, 0.57%. Ether to Bitcoin ratio, 0.03938, minus 1.38%. Hash rate, 7-day moving average 1025 EH/S hash price. Spot $53.81 total fees. 3.13 BTC/$362. 347 CME futures open interest. 141,690 BTC priced in gold. 31.5 Oz BTC versus gold market cap. 8.9%. Doge has dropped from 30.7 cents to 26 cents, penetrating the bullish trend line from September 6th lows. The breakdown suggests renewed seller momentum. Prices have also found acceptance below the Ichimoku cloud. Crossovers below the cloud are said to represent a bearish shift in trend. Coinbase Global coin closed on Friday at $323.04, minus 0.28%, minus 0.34% at $321.95 in pre-market circle. CRCL closed at $125.32, minus 6.27%, plus 1.81% at $127.59. Galaxy Digital GLXY closed at $29.70, plus 2.88%, minus 0.47% at $29.56. Bullish BLSH closed at $51.84, minus 3.98%, plus 1.72% at $52.73. Mara Holdings Mara closed at $16.31, plus 3.82%, minus 0.67% at $16.20. Riot Platforms Riot closed at $15.89, plus 1.53%, minus 0.44% at $15.82. Core Scientific CORZ closed at $15.86, plus 1.99%, minus 0.38% at $15.80. CleanSpark CLSK closed at $10.35, plus 1.47%, unchanged in pre-market. CoinShares Valkyrie Bitcoin Miners ETF WGMI closed at $37.32, plus 4.63%. Exodus Movement EXOD closed at $28.36, minus 1.73%, unchanged in pre-market. Strategy MSTR closed at $331.44, plus 1.66%, minus 0.53% at $329.68. Semler Scientific SMLR closed at $29.19, plus 2.28%. SharpLink Gaming SBET closed at $17.70, plus 8.19%, minus 2.26% at $17.30. Upexi UPXI closed at $6.76, plus 18.93%, plus 1.55% at $6.86. Light Strategy LITS closed at $3.07, plus 10.43%. Daily net flow $642.40 million. Cumulative net flows $56.79 billion. Total BTC holdings 1.31 million. Daily net flow $405.50 million. Cumulative net flows $13.38 billion. Total ETH holdings 6.48 million. What's next for Bitcoin and Ether as downside fears ease ahead of Fed rate cut? CoinDesk Amberdata's Greg Magadini says a routine quarter-point cut could mean gradual gains, while a half-point move might trigger an explosive rally in BTC, ETH, SOL, and gold. Bank of England's proposed stablecoin ownership limits are unworkable, say crypto groups. CoinDesk executives say the UK's proposed caps could be impossible to enforce and risk pushing innovation abroad, while US and EU rules set standards without limiting holdings. LSE Group starts blockchain platform for access by private funds. Bloomberg-LSEG's digital markets infrastructure, built to boost efficiency, was used in a members cap fundraising for MCM Fund 1 with crypto exchange Arcax serving the role of nominee. Trump administration claims vast powers as it races to fire Fed governor before meeting, The New York Times in Sunday's filing to a federal appeals court. Justice Department lawyers argued Trump's authority to oust Fed Governor Lisa Cook was both unreviewable and reasonable. BOE expected to leave key rate on hold, but slow quantitative tightening. The Wall Street Journal signs of internal resistance have cast doubt on near-term rate cuts, with 4 MPC members opposing the last move and Governor Andrew Bailey warning inflation pressures complicate policy choices.